Okay, let's go through the factor theorem question. It's broken up into two parts. Now for the first part, it does say you must use the factor theorem to show that x minus 2 is a factor of f of x. So if you use long division and show that you get no remainder, that will score you 0 marks as you wouldn't have used the factor theorem. So to use the factor theorem, look at the factor there, x minus 2, that you're trying to prove is a factor of f of x. Now if that bracket was to equal 0, then x would have to be 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to substitute in f of 2. So that just means when x is 2, what does that function equal? So to do that, I'm just going to sub it in. Okay. Okay, so summing that would get us 1 mark for showing that we have the intent to sub in x equals 2 there. Now what we need to do is just evaluate these terms. So 2 cubed is 8 times by the 2 is 16. 2 squared is 4 times by the 7 is going to be 28, and we've got the minus there. 4 times 2 obviously just 8, and then we've just got the plus 4 there. When we work out that sum, that will just equal 0. Now if you just leave it like that, that f of 2 equals 0 there, if you just leave it at that, you'll get only 1 mark. To get the final mark you must say, so x minus 2 is a factor. Just bear with my writing here. Streaming on this is a bit slow. So we've got 2 marks, but now we need to get the other 4, and to do that we need to factorise f of x completely. So we already know one of the factors, so we're going to need to find the other factors. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do 2x cubed minus 7x squared plus 4x plus 4 divided by x minus 2. There's a number of ways you can do this. Okay, I'll show the long division method as I did in class, but if you have another method that works for this, it's fine. If you get the correct quadratic, that's the result when you divide by this linear factor here, then that will be 2 marks when you get to that point, and I'll explain what you need to do in a second for all 4 marks. So we're going to do the long division. So let's just set it up like this, just using what you might have called bus shelter in the past. Yeah, I'm going to apologise for my writing. It's quite difficult to write with this stylus on here. Okay, so we're looking at, firstly, how many x's go into 2x cubed? Well, the answer to that would just be 2x squared. Okay, because if you do 2x cubed divided by x, then all we need to do is reduce the power of that term by 1. Then what we do is we look at, okay, well, if we did 2x squared times by x minus 2, if there was no remainder, then that would just equal this cubic here. Unfortunately, it's not quite that simple. So what we're going to do is if we do 2x squared now times the x minus 2, so 2x squared times x is going to be 2x to the power 3, which is good, which means we've got that correct there. Okay, that shouldn't be anything different than the first term. Then we do 2x squared times the minus 2. Well, that will give us 4x squared. Okay, so as you can see, when we times it back, it doesn't give us the cubic that we started out with. So we know x minus 2, we know 2x squared is not going to be the result that we're looking for. We still need to do a little bit more work. Now, next thing I need to do is 2x cubed take away, 2x cubed minus 7x plus 4x plus 4 take away the 2x cubed minus 4x squared, so I can see what the remainder is. So when I do 2x cubed take away 2x cubed, they just go. Minus 7x squared take away the minus 4x squared, well that's minus minus, so we've just got minus 3x squared there, and then 4x plus 4 minus nothing will just bring that down. So now we repeat the process again, but this time we're going to see how many x's go into minus 3x squared. So minus x squared divided by x is just going to be minus 3x. And then multiply that by the x minus 2. And then we're going to take away. So minus 3x squared take away 3x squared, they're just going to go. 4x minus 6x is minus 2. You want to make sure that you're careful here with your positives and negatives. Then just bring down your 4. Finally, we're going to do minus 2x divided by x, so that is just minus 2. When I do minus 2 multiplied by x minus 2, I get minus 2x plus 4, and when I take them away, as you expect, you get 0, and that's what you should get because x minus 2 is a factor of your original cubic. So at this point we're up to 2 marks, okay, because if that cubic, when you divide it by x minus 2, if you get the following quadratic that we've just found, I can just scroll down here a second. There we go. So x minus 2 and we've got 2x squared minus 3x minus 2. Okay, so when you times those two things together, you should get the original cubic that we started off with. Okay, you know, just like if you do 30 divided by 5, it equals 6, so therefore 6 times 5 equals 30. So because we're asked to factorise this completely, now at the moment this isn't factorised completely, a cubic can have up to 3 factors, okay? Possibly though, some of those factors can be repeated sometimes. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to factorise our quadratic, so we're going to keep the x minus 2 the same there. Let me just go do some factorisation here. So you know in one bracket you want a 2x and the other bracket you want an x. Okay, because the 2x times the x makes 2x squared. To make the minus 2, well, you want a positive and a negative number. So your options are plus 2 and minus 1, or minus 2 and plus 1. But bear in mind we've got to make the minus 3x. So it's going to be minus 2 and plus 1. Okay, so therefore we've now factorised this completely. Your factors have to be on the same line, and you can then rewrite that as 2x plus 1 okay, and then x minus 2 squared. We see that we've got a repeating factor there of x minus 2.